We are turning now to campaign 2024. President Biden taking the lead in Missouri's presidential primary as votes are still being counted. Registered Democrats showed up to locations across the state to vote for who they want on the ticket for the November election. One of those locations was the Shalom Church in Florissant. It's their first time as a polling place, and organizers said they saw a terrific turnout from voters today.
We had a line outside even before 8 a.m. when polling and voting started. We're just excited about people having the opportunity to come someplace that they're familiar with to be able to vote. I think that really helps in getting them to make the decision to come out and vote.
The official results of the Democratic primary will be officially announced next week. The Missouri Republican Party hosted their caucus earlier this month, with former President Trump winning the state.